In here, and it is time for the afternoon lift up with Allison Graham and special guest,
hello,
Kate Bartz. Okay, so here's the deal. Today we are talking about a reading and the perfect reading list. And Kate and I'm actually in town visiting and have a whole bunch of stuff going on. And I was like, oh, I made plans to hang out with you and we got to go live. So we're going live together. She's one of my favorite friends. And we're both like, I was driving over here, I called her and I was like, oh yeah, by the way, got to go live. And we were just chatting, and it turns out we're both reading like crazy. So we're going to talk about the books, the best books to read right now. And of course, where are we going to start?
my next read.
Can't even cue that up. It just, she was just all on that. Thank you. Yes, this is my new book. Take Back Your Weekends. Stress less, do more, be happier. So if you don't have a copy yet, definitely get one. I'm loving the reviews, and there are a ton of Instagram reviews too. Bookstagrammers are picking it up like hotcakes.
Where do we buy one?
Amazon is a perfect spot, or you could go to takebackyourweekends.com.
All right. I will also put a link in my, I'm sharing this on my personal page, so I will put a link to the Amazon link below it.
Awesome.
In the comments.
Okay. So here is why reading is on my mind. I didn't tell you this. I said I'll tell you on
okay.
air. Okay. So we're going to look at them, but we'll talk to each other.
All right.
Yeah, sort of. I don't know how that'll work.
Oh, I think we should also preface by saying we're a bit glowy because my air conditioning broke.
But there is an air conditioning fixer man who's in the building.
Praise the Lord.
It will be coming soon. So I moved, for those of you, we've got some things here.
Ooh.
Oh, look at that. Greg did it for us. He put the link for the book. How awesome is Greg? Thank you. Okay, so I moved to the lake, for those of you who have been following along. And it turns out that I'm in a village that has about 200 people, most of whom are probably a little bit more senior and retired. And it's a pretty low-paced society, and I'm very happy there. Very happy, right?
Oh, that's so nice.
Yes, and there's a lot of free time on my hands.
It's like it's COVID or something.
It is. So it's like, and part of me is kind of like, when I lived in the city, it didn't matter because we were under COVID, but I still felt like there was stuff to do. Anyway, I decided I am going to read this summer. So I have a list of 33 books that I am going to read. And so far, I have read several, and I'm going to talk about those. So thank you. Yes, I'm really excited. And it's what I'm doing with all that time, because I don't read when I'm creating my own book.
Right. Yeah.
So I got some catching up to do. Mm-hmm. So that is why I'm so committed to reading, and I'm reading like hours a day. It feels like right now. Okay. Yeah. So tell me your like reading inspiration right now.
Okay. So one of the silver linings to come out of COVID in lockdown, and I'm from a family of 10. We're all very close, obnoxiously close. So we started a Zoom call. What would that be, like 15 months ago? When did COVID start? And we do cocktails. And after about a year, we started doing the odd theme night we throw it in. So I did facials for everyone and a customized skincare routine. We did cocktails.
Oh, hold on. She does. She sells Rodan in Fields, which is a skincare. Awesome. So that's where that would make sense. Like most people, nobody's coming to me to do, hey, let's have a facial party. You know what I mean? It would be weird. She is brilliant at it. I'm just saying. Anyway, keep going.
So this Friday, we're doing our very first book club. And, we have a special guest. I'll pull her in a few minutes. And it's called All Adults Here. And Allison, you'll appreciate this. I got it from my library. And can you read what that says?
Large print. Thank you.
Yeah, because I have old lady eyes. So we're going to be doing a book club, but I want to read like a 2-sentence synopsis. It's really cute. Okay. And then I'll show you just a few other ones. So let me push.
Was that Annie when she was a baby?
It was.
Oh, that's her daughter.
So it says, in All Adults Here, Emma Straub's unique alchemy of wisdom, humor, and insight come together in a deeply satisfying story about adult siblings, aging parents, high school boyfriends, middle school mean girls, and the lifelong effects of birth order, and all the other things that follow us into adulthood, whether we like them or not.
So you're all going to read this, your books and 10 kids. Or your parents and...
No, not my parents. This is kids only.
Oh, okay. Are you glad? Like now that you've read the book?
Yeah.
Yeah, that your parents didn't read it?
No. I identified with a lot of the characters, and as I read it, my parents currently live in Goderich, and the town just seems like it's Goderich, and I could pick out different childhood scenarios experienced by different characters.
Oh.
It kind of happened by fluke that we chose this book, but it's perfect.
All right.
All right, now you tell me about one of yours.
Okay, so where do I start on which one? Because I've read 5 so far.
Okay.
It began with the Red Thread, which is a book on. Yeah, what's that?
I've read that.
You read it?
Yeah.
Oh, by Tamsin.
No, maybe
not. It's like a business. Like, how do you? All my stuff is self-help and business.
Yeah, no, generally
this is it. So then I was reading that, and I'm like, I got to read it again. But that night, I watched a video by Tom Bilyeu. I don't know if anybody else follows. Do you follow Tom? Do you know who he is?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, so he started Quest Nutrition and
yes.
like $1 billion company. Him and his wife, and
his wife through
she's incredible.
Yes.
Yeah. So just like they've got it going on, and he's committed to figuring out how do I help people who want to succeed, like get out of their own way to succeed. Okay. So obviously I'm paraphrasing. Anyway, he has a list of books, 25 mindset books.
I live for these
that
books.
You have to read in order. Ooh, she says. So you know what I did?
You started?
I started.
With number 1?
Yeah, so number 1 is here. So now I started, so I had 8 books that I had already chosen that I wanted to read for the summer.
Okay.
And then I tacked on his list.
That's why it's 33.
That's right.
Oh,
That's it. And 33 is my favorite number. So this is the first on his list, and it just came in Amazon. Oh, by the way, for the record, Living Out at the Lake, it takes about 2 weeks for Amazon to show up.
I thought I was bad here because I'm a solid 3 to 4 days. And I'm used to Toronto where it's like sometimes same day service.
Yes, exactly, right? So anyway, it might not be 2 weeks, but it's at least a week. Mm-hmm. This is the first one, so it's going to happen. But the one I'm still reading before I can start the first is, have you read this yet? 12 Rules to Life by Jordan Peterson.
Monty's been reading it for about 2 years.
2 years, yes.
He doesn't like the dense academic stuff, and that's how he described this to me. It was very dense.
So yes, that is actually it. So why would you say something in 10 words when you could choose to say it in 35? That is this book. And I was going to give up because I'm like, look, I am not intellectual enough for this. I'm not, strong enough to read this. And I kept going, and now I'm through. No, I am. Look, here's my dog ear. I'm on page 249. Plus, don't forget the 38 pages that started the book. 249. So I'm almost done.
I'm going to pass, but I'll read the other 32.
Okay. Oh, that's not on his list. That was just on my list.
Okay.
All right. What's next?
These kind of sort of link together.
Okay.
So, I believe that we can sequester carbon in the soil. Let me rephrase that. The scientists believe, and I read their books. So this is a soil science for gardeners by a University of Guelph professor.
Very cool.
No one is going to read this. I think I'm the only person to ever have taken it out of the library, but I love it. All right. Sticking with Guelph.
Okay, I'm excited about that because you do a lot, and like you can follow Kate on her Instagram and her Facebook and all of that because we have she does like worms and gardens and
it's
like
true.
Soil and stuff like that, right?
And I'm a huge library fan. Staying with Guelph, I'm just pulling it up. I actually listen to audiobooks all the time. So I am going to pull this up. I am reading The Inconvenient Indian by Thomas King. I'm listening to it as an audiobook. And Thomas King is a native man who happens to live in Guelph, and he is probably most well known for the Dead Dog Cafe on CBC.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
Normally, I only read personal help, self-development.
Yeah.
No, I think I switched those words.
That's all right.
But I really wanted to do some fiction and some Indigenous lit. So I'm doing this, and but my problem is that I can't read anything about the Holocaust or anything when children die. So as you can see, I'm somewhat limited when it comes to Indigenous lit or modern Indigenous lit. So every once in a while, you get a book that is actually better as an audiobook. I feel Tina Fey's Bossy Pants was like that.
Oh, okay. I'll write that down.
This is funny. It makes a genocide funny, Canadian history. I know that sounds so weird to say.
It does, but it's the
way right. He does it is just hilarious. And I think it's way better as an audiobook. I don't think I would love it as much if I was reading it.
Okay.
So those are my two Guelph ones. I recommend this. It's very popular in Canada. Guys, get it from your library. In fact, if you don't have Audible or Hoopla, just go to your library. I can't say enough wonderful things about it.
So
there you go.
Speaking of Audible, I noticed on my credit card today that I am paying for Audible, except I went into all of my Amazon accounts and I don't actually have Audible. So I don't know. Never listened to a book yet.
That ain't right.
Anyway, I will find it, and they're so good. They're good with their customer service. They'll fix it. Okay, so keep going. Let's do a couple more. There's one of my favorites coming up here.
Have you read it?
No, not this one.
So this is The Firekeeper's Daughter, again in Indigenous lit. It's American. It takes place in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, which is very close where my family's from. And it's one of Reese's young adult ones. I'm just at the beginning. I'm like maybe 20 pages in. So far, so good. And I think it's going to be a good summer read. And it's a bit more mystery as opposed to just residential school content. So I think it'll have a lot of benefits as opposed to the other one I'm listening to, which is very popular right now in Canada, again on Hoopla from my library, is Five Little Indians, and it's about residential schools.
So I think it's really awesome that you're diving into, like, I didn't even, and you know what, maybe this is I didn't think about it. Now I've got to add some stuff to my books, like my 33, I got to add on, because one of the things I really want to do is get very well educated. Right, about everything that's happening with the Indigenous community, and I just feel like sick to my stomach anytime I think about the situation. But the thing that bothers me the most is that the situation has always been happening, and we're just aware of it now. Right.
That's why I'd recommend starting with The Inconvenient Indian, because it's a bit more broad, but also delivered in a way that I find more digestible. I'm not committing to finishing Five Little Indians. It may be a little too much for me.
Okay.
Because I'm a parent, leading to the next one I'm going to start, called The 5 Love Languages of Children. If you are familiar with Dr. Gary Chapman, he wrote the famous relationship book that has been turned into everything from personal development to human resources. Dr. Gary Chapman. And have you read 5
So that's why I thought it was the 5 love languages. And then I saw it for children, which is amazing. Yeah, I think that whenever a friend of mine is having trouble with their husband or, or vice versa even, I'm like, have you revisited the 5 love languages? Because you can hear it in complaints in relationships. And I don't I'm not married, and I don't have kids, but I can hear it. Like, it's so obvious to me. I'm like, oh my God, he is bending over backwards for you, thinking acts of service is what you're going to respond to. And you're like, and he doesn't spend any time with me. I'm like, because he's too busy doing shit for you.
100%.
Yeah. So like, you've got to know what those love languages are, both in terms of how you give and how you receive.
I feel like the next 2 books are very Kate and Allison books.
Okay.
So I haven't started this one yet.
This is good. See, we're at her house. I don't have any props. My props, I only have the 2 I'm on the road with. And I'm sorry.
Have you read this yet? Beverly McLaughlin's autobiography?
Not.
My aunt says it's amazing and that I will love it. So I got it from the library. I haven't started it yet.
Okay.
I'll let you know, but women in politics, that's how we met.
That's right. Oh my gosh. Yeah. What year was that? 2003.
3?
4. No, not. Yeah. Wait. No. 3.
No, it could have been 2004.
It was 2004. Was I already on the provincial executive when we met?
I have no idea. No, you were writing for the Freeps.
Writing. Well, I wrote for the Freeps till that's the London Free Press. For those of you wondering, I wrote for them until the column till 2007,
Okay.
and then yeah,
And then
one more coming.
this is an audiobook I'm listening to again from the library. Food. What the heck should you eat? By Dr. Mark Hyman, MD.
Please tell me, what are we supposed to eat? I love him.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of his stuff.
It's the no-nonsense guide to achieving optimal weight and lifelong health. So,
Which is basically don't eat nachos from Joe Cools.
in summary, so it's really interesting, especially because my love language is cooking food.
Oh.
So and I love growing food too, hence
Right.
my soil science for gardeners. So I'm on the part about beans. He breaks it down to food groups and talks about what you should eat, what you shouldn't eat. It is totally science-based. It has none of his philosophies. He said, I was a vegan for a while, and this is what the science says. He's no longer a vegan. He calls himself a pegan, which is a cross between paleo and vegan.
All right.
Do you have any food or recipes or things you want to talk about?
I do want to talk about something, but we're going to do it offline. You need to help me with my herb garden.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
because
send you home with some worm castings.
yeah, thank you. Because my herbs were absolutely incredible and beautiful, and I was so proud. And I was like going to the neighbors saying, "Take some of my herbs. I have just too many." And now they're all like dying, and I'm like, "Do not take my basil because I need it for my breakfast meal."
Okay, I'll send you home some basil.
No, I'm teasing. I still have some, but we're going to save them. All right, folks, that has been the lift up. I hope you feel lifted up, and I will get a picture of my
New book.
my reading list. But yes, also my new book.
Right here.
I
By
love
Allison
it.
Graham.
Yeah, here. Where's my? So I'll show you. But okay, wait. Can I do this in the camera?
I don't know, put a screenshot in the
Yeah,
comments.
those are the reading books, and I've got 4 of them off the list now.
Good for you.
Do you know which one I loved? And I was surprised. And here's why I ended up reading this one, because it wasn't originally on the list. Every now and again, I just add one on to do, because I was waiting for Amazon, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm out of books. And I went to Shoppers Drug Mart in town, and the only one that they had in the self-help genre was Badass Habits.
By Jen Sincero.
Yes, is that how you say her last name?
Yes, it
Oh,
is.
I'm impressed.
Do you have an all-time favorite book that you've read numerous times?
No, and the one that's coming to my mind is I'm hard on the favorites, me, because I just love everything, right? Like it's like asking me my favorite movie when it's like, if it's in front of me and I can have a nap, I love it. Joking, not really.
Not
Anyway,
really.
It's You Are the One.
I don't know if I've ever
It's
heard
by
of that.
Kurt Wall, maybe. Actually, I think that's a guy I went to school with. Anyway, I loved it. And I think because it was in the first time that I was sort of getting into, we can just be at peace. We can just like live our lives and not have to worry about the future. And like, it was a few years ago that I read it, and it was very profound.
Oh.
I loved it. Anyway, that's about the end of the live. How long? Oh, we've been going, 18 minutes. That's good. That's plenty.
Good for us.
Now we're going to get off camera and have more of a catch up. So now that we've talked about all of our books, but I
Wait,
hope you
we
got some ideas.
Do one quick thing.
Okay,
before
sure.
we get off. I
Yeah.
should show them our barking.
Oh my gosh.
The world's
Yes.
cutest puppy.
Yeah, she's
This is
amazing.
my very senior puppy named Prissy.
This is Prissy.
Allie and I are
Prissy.
both big dog people.
Yeah. Hi, Prissy.
She's a ponytail.
Yeah, she's she's a mama's girl. Like,
Yes.
yeah, compared to Gypsy and Jimmy, who are
Yeah,
like,
it's
you know,
true.
wherever. They're like, yeah, we don't care.
So yes. Say bye.
Yeah, so cute. Anyway, thanks for joining for the Lockdown Lift Up. And tomorrow maybe we'll do our wild card topic day. But I thought this was even better because you can hang out with me and my friend Kate.